Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about focus. And I want to kind of relate back to me, I guess, and kind of describe my situation and how I came about this subject. The idea of focus is pretty simple to understand. It's just you have to concentrate on the things you want to do. But I've realized that it's much more harder to do than to explain. Now, before we dive into the idea of focus, you have to understand that society today is made so that it is nearly impossible for anyone to focus. Everything is fighting for your attention. Everything. Whether it's the music you listen to, the books you read, the movies you watch, social media that you scroll through every single day, everything is fighting for your attention. Attention equates to revenue. With your attention, people are able to, these companies are able to put in advertisements in there to sell their product. So everyone's just fighting for your attention. And when your attention is so scattered throughout everything, all this media here, it makes it so difficult to kind of zone in on the things you want. Now, why is this so important to focus? So let me talk about myself a little bit. Recently, I've been trying to do this YouTube thing, and I have everything I need. I have all the equipment I need. I have all the YouTube tutorials on how to shoot a video, how to edit this thing, how to do the audio. I have everything I need. I've spent, I don't know, probably about $5,000 just on equipment alone. You know, so why is it so hard for me to make a video? Why is it so hard for me to sit down, write a script, figure out what to say on this video here, and make a video and post it? Why is this so difficult? I know everything. I have everything. Well, I think I kind of narrowed it down to one point. The point is I can't focus. And it is getting harder and harder for me to focus when my attention has gone to everything else. So let me explain to you my kind of daily routine when I wake up in the morning. Right in the morning, the first thing I do when I wake up is I grab my phone and I start scrolling through the news. And I do this because I tell myself it's a way for me to kind of jumpstart my brain and kind of get it going. So I'm reading the news. I'm reading about all these articles where the McDonald's stock prices are going down. This country's protesting that country. This country's going to war with that country. And I'm not saying this news is not important, because it is important. But for me, myself, in this exact moment, this type of news does nothing for me. It has no direct effect on me as we speak. The only thing that has direct effect on me is me having the ability to focus and producing the things I have to do. So I read these things, then I go downstairs, I grab myself a cup of coffee, and while I'm drinking, I'm still reading the news. So right after that, I decide that it's time for work. So I sit down, and just like everybody that's busy, I don't have that much time to sit down and work. I have maybe about a block of 4 to 5 hours where it's quiet time and I'm able to do things. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking of the things I have to do, but I'm also thinking about the things I just read. And I don't know about you, but it takes a little while for me to kind of settle my mind and really focus, really think about what I'm trying to do. Because I'm thinking about everything else that I just read. And it's hard for me to do. So what I do, in frustration, I turn on YouTube and I just watch something real quick, and I'm watching videos that I like and YouTube people that I like to kind of entertain myself. I'm watching that and I was like, all right, I'm only going to do this for 10 minutes, then I'm going to get back to work. That's kind of like, I guess, my coping mechanism when I feel frustrated. Let me just check YouTube. Let me just listen to a quick song. So right after I do that, and now my brain is completely scattered because now I'm thinking about the video I just watched. And so it makes it nearly impossible. By the time I finally put the pen to the paper, so to speak, my time's up. I got to go pick up my girls from school. I got to go make dinner. I got to go do this, do that. I got to prep for next day work. And the day's over. And, this cycle just repeats itself over and over. And so it is so difficult to get things going. So I decided to kind of do a little more research and do a little more reading as to what is wrong with me. Why can't I just sit down and do my work? And I come across this author. His name is Dan Koe. He also has a YouTube channel, phenomenal YouTuber. And he wrote this book called The Art of Focus. And I didn't read it completely, but I skimmed through it, and I grabbed, some of the more important points of the book. And it's the main point is that if you are trying to be a high productive, just successful person, and just kind of be able to produce things, you have to have the ability to zoom out. And the idea of zooming out is this. You know, right now when you're watching TV, you're focused on this little thing, and you may agree with it. You focus on this TV show, on the news. Let's just call it the news. You're focusing on it and you're listening to it, and you may agree with it, you may not agree with it. You're fighting with it against it in your mind. You're having a dialogue on your mind, right? And so, really, what is all this dialogue in your mind really doing for you, other than just dialogue? What's it doing? It's not doing anything for you. It's not producing anything for you. It's really just noise. It's just noise. It's noise in your mind. And if you have the ability to kind of zoom out, and look at your life and really look at the big picture and realize what's really important to you, whether it's your family, your mom, your dad, your kids, see what's important to you and see what you really want to do with your life, And if you have the ability to zoom out, a lot of this noise would just kind of disappear, because you realize it doesn't do anything. It's so small, and it doesn't bring any happiness to your life. It doesn't bring any type of um, substance to your life, So if you have the ability to zoom out, that is what's going to kind of give you clarity as to what's important to your life. And that's kind of one of the main points in Dan Cole's book. And from that book, I stumbled upon another book called Deep Work by Cal Newport. Now, this is kind of an older book. I think it was written in 2016. But a lot of the points in this book is still very, very relevant. The idea of this book says that in order to do extraordinary work, extraordinary, world-changing, life-changing work, you must be able to hunker down and do deep work, deep concentration. Now, what does this mean? Well, deep work, deep concentration. In this book, it gives a couple of examples, but I'm probably not going to say these examples because I may have, again, the facts wrong, and I just don't want to say the wrong thing. So I'll give it a general idea. When there's people like Bill Gates, when he was trying to develop Microsoft, he locked himself into his garage, and he did only that. He didn't do anything else. He didn't read the news. He didn't scroll the internet. Not that there was available, but even if it was available, he wouldn't have scrolled through it. They lock themselves in their room and lock themselves in the hotel room, wherever it is where they can have solitude and really zone in and focus on this. I think Elon Musk has a podcast or interview where he says, if you want to achieve something great, you have to be able to sacrifice. You have to be able to zone in on exactly your work and not think about anything else. And he moved on to become one of the whether you agree with him or not, but one of the people in modern society that has made big changes for humans. But the idea is that if you want to create something big and you want to make a big impact upon your life, you must have the ability to do deep work and deep concentration. And you have to be able to zone out all that other nonsense and all the other noise and all the other stuff that's trying to take away your concentration. So now, let's go back to me now. So what have I done to be able to do deep work and enable that and practice some of that? Well, I'm very guilty of reading the news. That's something I do quite often, even though it kind of turns me into a paranoid, miserable person because, let's face it, the news is just all negative. There's nothing good about the news. But I think I'm going to stop scrolling when first thing I wake up. Maybe first thing when I wake up, I'll try to have a conversation with myself and talk about the things to myself about the day, what's going to happen, what I plan to do, and maybe that way I can kind of jog my mind up and get it ready for the day. One major change that I did is that I completely stopped consuming social media. Now, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I was a social media addict just like everybody else. Whenever I was bored in traffic, I would just take out my phone. I'll scroll. Whenever I'm waiting for somebody, I'll just take out my phone and scroll. That's what we do. That's called a dopamine hit, and it's instant gratification for you to do something and instantly be entertained, be happy, and you know. But I've realized that social media has turned me into a very miserable person, and it's turned me into a person that I am not and I don't like. So I decided to download this app. It's called Screen Zen, and it's a really good app. It's actually a phenomenal app, and it allows you to set a bunch of different parameters, and it allows you to set limits on your watch time or set, I guess, stoppage. It won't let you turn on this app. So whatever you choose to do, it allows you to do that. So I download that app and I put all my social media apps in there, and it allows me to turn off those apps. So now, and in addition to that, whenever you try to turn it on, you can program it to say whatever message you want. So my message to myself is this important right now? And I'd say 99% of the time, Facebook is not important right now. So that app has helped me tremendously. I've been off social media for a little bit over a month and a half now, and I think it's done wonders for me. I'm a much happier person now. But anyway, so I don't scroll anymore, and so my attention is not as scattered as it used to be. Now I know what my goals are, and I know what I have to do. It's just having to implement it, which is what I'm doing right now. But I think that's kind of the idea of this video, is that you have to focus and you have to really concentrate. And great, phenomenal, life-changing work requires great focus. And I guess I'm making this video for anyone that's kind of in my situation where they know what they have to do, but they're having a hard time doing it. And I hope this kind of answers some question as to why you're having a hard time doing it. It's just you're having a hard time focusing, and you have to kind of cut out some of that noise that's in your life, such as what I've done. I don't think I've done enough, but I think doing a little bit is a really good start, and it also gave me a direction as to what else I have to do. So I hope you like this video. I hope it's helping a few of you guys out. And if it did, I'd appreciate if you hit the like button. Please consider subscribing. I'm only getting better by the video, and I'll see you in the next one.